IVM.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. We're finally at the letter Z of this current series of work-life balance. Yes, if you're wondering what I'm talking about or what do I mean by series, well, that's how I record. I record A to Z series on different topics. I've done one on relationships. I've done one on finding your life purpose. I've done a series on the lockdown, yes. And well, this one was all about work-life balance. I hope you've been enjoying all the perspectives that I've been sharing about ambition, about being visible in your workplace, money, as well as realigning your goals. To bring this series to a close, the phrase I have chosen is Zoom past. Well, I know that Zoom is a word that we've all become very, very familiar with. We're spending all our time in front of this beautiful app on screen, but that's not what I'm talking about today. Not really talking about that brand or that app. This episode is about how certain things that you are doing or they're not doing are ensuring that you are zooming past the opportunities that are actually meant for you. Sometimes desperation and sometimes overhyped determination to get to your goals, to achieve, to accomplish, to be seen, to succeed. Well, in that desire and that eagerness, very often you might be speeding past the opportunities, the windows, the moments that will be extremely beneficial to you, and you don't even realize it. Well, we're going to try and change that in today's episode. So the very first thing that I want you to do is I want you to write down your goal in a single sentence. And no, I'm not talking about your ambition. I'm not talking about the fact that you want to become a billionaire before your 40th birthday or that you want to be the CEO of an X-sized company on your 45th birthday or that you want to be in the Forbes list 30 under 30 or 40 under 40. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about your goal, your work goal for yourself, for the current job you are in, for the current role that you are playing in this organization, and for the current year. Now that's the thing. If you have a goal, it has to have a timeline. So here's the question to answer. What do you want to experience or achieve in your current job, in your current role in this organization, in this year? Remember, your answer has to be a single sentence. The other thing that I want you to be mindful of is the timeline. You are asking yourself, what do you want to achieve in this year? Whatever's left of it, whenever you're listening to this episode, right? Or maybe when you do listen to this episode, it's a 6-month window. Now, here's what I want you to think about. When you look at that statement, when you look at the timeline, is it giving you anxiety or is it exciting you? Because if it's giving you anxiety, then you're doing something wrong. You're overdoing something, or then you have a belief system that's making you underplay your own potential, your own skill set. If you're doing this right, if you are aligned to it, then you will feel excited, you will get a sense of that challenge, and you will be enthusiastic to get on with it. That sense of direction will make you feel good. When you are setting a goal, you don't want to be in your comfort zone, but you also don't want to be in the pressure zone. Ideally, your goal should rest between these two places, just a little outside your comfort zone and way, way away from the pressure zone. And if you are somebody who can only work under pressure, then you need to listen to episodes 191 and 192, which are called Overtime and Project Pile Up. So now that you have a goal down, or then maybe you want to put this episode on pause and write that statement down. Look at it and ask yourself, what does this goal make me feel? Does it challenge you just a little? Does it excite you? Are you ready to get up and get things done? When you feel these things, you know that you're on the right path. Now here's step 2. I want you to close your eyes and imagine the journey towards your goal. How would you like the next few months to pan out? What exactly do you want to experience while you are moving towards your goal? Also, because you have a defined goal and a defined timeline, be aware of the pace at which you are supposed to move. Understand that you have given yourself an X amount of time and there are no brownie points or no extra medals to be won for finishing something earlier. So what would you like the journey to be like? What do you want to experience? When you start focusing on the path and the steps that you need to take so that you can keep moving forward towards your end goal, that destination, that finish line, that is when you will receive many opportunities. That is when certain windows will open up, certain detours will appear, which will actually be shortcuts taking you towards your goals faster. But the question is, if you don't pace yourself correctly, if you try to do things too fast, or if you are moving too slow because you're not working through your fears, then you will not see these opportunities. You will not see these beneficial detours. You will not see these tiny, tiny moments that can give you a leap, a very important and needed leap. So when they say that the journey is more important and that matters more than the destination, they're not lying. You may ask me who's they? Well, whoever they are and wherever you've heard these words from, maybe in this case, I'm they. But the point is that if you are not aware of the path, the road trip, the journey, every hour, every minute of it, then you're not going to be able to spot those moments where the universe is giving you a little trampoline to give you that leap ahead that you so need right now. When you write your goal down the way I have asked you to, and when you visualize the journey towards that goal, you will also be able to see a certain kind of an action plan forming in your head. Well, under that goal statement, make a list of things that you need to do. Make sure that you write it in single sentences. Don't write long paragraphs. Also, don't try to see the entire road trip in one go. Whatever actions are coming to you, write those down and ask yourself, which ones can I complete or start immediately? Only focus on what you can get done right now. So here's the piece. Every day, there is a chance that the universe will send a miracle your way, that the universe will open a window for you, that the universe will make you privy to a conversation that can help you 2 days later. And on the day that you're listening to this conversation, you won't even know this. But the important part is this. If you are not present, 2 days later, when you need to use that conversation, if you don't have the presence of mind because you're too busy running ahead of yourself, then that's a missed opportunity. I know I've painted a very loose example, but I hope it can give you a sense of how important your pace in a journey is. How fast or slow are you moving towards your goal needs to be defined by how you are feeling every single day. It cannot be a uniform pace. You cannot run at the speed of 100 every single day. Your goal, the path towards it, requires you to alter your pace, to adjust it every single day. And only when you do that will you be able to identify the opportunities, the extra help that the universe is sending your way, that you will be able to take advantage of different moments, different situations that the universe is placing you in, especially because you have defined a certain desire, a goal, and you are wanting to manifest something very specific. So as you listen to this episode, in your head, stop running ahead of yourself. And then physically, in your reality, in your immediate surroundings, stop hitting the panic button that you are running out of time or that you're not doing enough. First, write your goal down, then visualize the journey and what that journey should feel like for you. What would you like it to feel like? And then, based on that, come up with an action plan for today, maybe tomorrow, maybe this week, but not anything more than that. Make sure these actions are small, tiny, tangible, things that you can do quickly. Start there. And slowly you will start building up that ladder or that road that is going to take you to the finish line. I hope that today's episode gives you a perspective on how you may be zooming past so many things that you are actually supposed to take advantage of in your life. And maybe you're not doing this just at work. Maybe you're doing this in other areas of your life too. Also, when you pace yourself at work, you give yourself the space to live outside of work. And yes, there is a whole life to be lived outside of your ambition, outside of your calling. So on that note, I'm going to head out of here because I've got a whole life to live outside of this podcast. And I hope that you guys are enjoying listening to these episodes. Please DM me when you do listen to them. And if something resonates with you, I love reading your messages. They make me want to get back into the studio and record more episodes for you. Also, if there is a particular topic you want me to touch upon, go right ahead, send me those suggestions. My handle on Instagram is Positivity Angel. And if you would like to connect with us at IVM Podcasts, you can connect with us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is also IVM Podcasts. Lastly, all previous episodes are available on the IVM Podcast app as well as the website. Happy listening, guys.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'd like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, Seat, Cred, and Global Victoria. We thank you so much for making all of this possible. So this week on Cyrus Says, Tapsi Pannu was recently featured in the Netflix original Haseen Dilruba was on. They discussed her experiences in Bollywood and a whole lot more. On Begin the Journey, Ashish Vidyarthi enlightens us with his wisdom on how one can get freedom from their own thoughts or insecurities when they communicate with others. On The Millennial Athlete, Tanvi and Shlok fill us in on all the drama from the world of sports with Wimbledon, Euros, and World Test cricket making headlines every day. On Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav Mamoria kicks off a new series, Beneath the Veneer. We travel to the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, where he takes us through his first experience of encountering the Red Sea. We have a brand new show, Misconduct. It's a true crime show hosted by Ragvi, a lawyer, and Nisha, a PR pro. They tell us about the story of Cyanide Malika, the lady who offered cyanide-laden sweets to women and after they die, loot their gold. On the Global Victoria Tech Talks podcast, we showcase some compelling new tech stories coming out of Melbourne. On one episode, Pawan Srinath speaks to Joe Agan from Nelnet International, where they discuss how the pandemic has affected the edtech sector and its evolution. Another episode has Varun Digirala talking to Ross Simons from Big Ant Studios about the gaming ecosystem and how they envision translating a sport to a game. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
From uncensored and unfiltered chats with the who's who of the entertainment industry, I, Siddharth Kannan, bring you a very hardcore chat show called Candid Kannan. Tune in every Friday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.